like mist rising from the earth, covering the land in a blanket of mystery. Ancient Ireland, land of magic and myths, where every stone and tree whisper ancestral secrets. Here, heroes are not born, they are forged, shaped in the heat of battle and the discipline of tireless training, forged in the flames of courage, loyalty, and sacrifice. Every battle, every ritual, a test of character and strength. This is the story of one such hero, Cú Chulainn, the Hound of Ulster. A hero whose legend transcends time, a story passed down through generations, a true tale from Irish folklore. His saga echoes through the ages, a testament to the power of courage and the persistence of the Irish spirit. On every battlefield, in every corner of this land, his name is whispered. His name, whispered on the wind, carried across the hills and ancient battlefields. The wind carries his stories, scattering them across the world like seeds of bravery and hope. He's remembered in tales and songs, a beacon of strength and determination, an example to all those who dare to dream of freedom. The bards sing of his deeds, keeping his memory alive, ensuring his story is never forgotten, just like the stories told around campfires. But know this is not a simple story of triumph. It is a story of colossal challenges, trials that would test the bravest and painful sacrifices. It is a story of loss, love, and the heavy burden of destiny. Every victory has its price, every love its pain, and every step towards glory demands sacrifice. The story of Cú Chulainn is a tapestry woven with threads of glory and tragedy. Each symbol, each image tells part of his journey, revealing the complexity of a true hero. It is a journey into the heart of Irish mythology, where gods and men collide and the line between reality and legend becomes blurred. Here the impossible becomes possible, and dreams transform into destiny. Prepare yourself, for you are about to enter the world of Cú Chulainn. A world where courage is tested on the battlefields, where legend blends with history, and where heroes never truly die, just like the great names of our history, whose stories are passed down through generations. He began his life as Sétanta, a name that would soon be lost in the whirlwind of fate, a name that would echo through the battlefields and become legend, just like some athletes' names become legendary in the world of sports. Even as a child, he possessed a spirit that burned brighter than most, a flame that not even time could extinguish, a flame that reminded people of the passion of great athletes. His eyes, they said, held the glint of steel, revealing the hero he would become, a hero who would defend his land with the fury of a lion, with the same fierceness as a dedicated athlete. Young Sétanta excelled in games of strength and skill, games that shaped his body and mind for the challenges that awaited him, just like young athletes train hard to achieve their goals. He was faster, stronger, more agile than any of his companions, a young man destined for greatness, reminiscent of famous athletes who dominated their fields, but it was in the heat of the hurling game, the sport of kings, that his true potential began to reveal itself like a bolt of lightning, like a spectacular goal in a championship final. On the field, he was a force of nature, his movements fluid and powerful, a ballet of strength and precision reminiscent of the skill and grace of great athletes. He wielded his hurley stick, the carman, with an almost supernatural grace, as if it were an extension of his own body, like a conductor leading an orchestra. It was as if the air itself obeyed his commands, guiding the ball, the sliotar, towards the goal with impossible precision, defying the laws of physics like a perfect shot that leaves the goalkeeper helpless. Even then, whispers followed him, whispers of admiration, respect, fear, like the whispers that followed the footsteps of rising stars. Whispers of a destiny he was only beginning to understand, a destiny that would make him a legend, just like destiny brought great things to those who dared to dream. One fateful day, Sétanta's life would change forever. Destiny, like an unstoppable wind, blew in his direction, altering his course forever, like the changing winds that bring rain to dry lands. He was invited to a feast at the home of Culann, the king's blacksmith, a renowned craftsman whose work was admired by all, a master of his craft, like those who keep the traditions of their craft alive. Eager to show his gratitude, Sétanta ran ahead of the group, arriving at the blacksmith's house, as twilight fell upon the land like a magical veil, like the arrival of night when the stars begin to paint the sky. Unbeknownst to him, Culann had a fierce guard dog, an animal known for its ferocity, an implacable guardian, like a watchdog protecting its territory. Sensing the stranger's presence, the dog launched itself in a furious attack, its teeth bared like daggers, its eyes filled with fury, like a bull seeing red. Sétanta, caught by surprise, reacted instinctively. There was no time to think, only to act, to survive. Like an athlete reacting in the heat of the moment, he fought with a strength he never knew he possessed, a strength that emanated from the depths of his soul, fueled by fear and adrenaline, like people fighting for what they believe in. The fight was swift and brutal, a frantic dance of teeth, claws, and fury, like a whirlwind of rapid and unpredictable movements. When the dust settled, the dog lay dead, slain by the bare hands of the young boy. The silence that followed was deafening, broken only by the beating of Sétanta's heart, a heavy silence like the one that follows a storm. Culann arrived to witness the scene, his face pale with horror. His faithful protector, his shadow, was dead. Sétanta, overcome with remorse, vowed to replace the blacksmith's protector. He would become Culann's new guard dog, the Hound of Ulster, a promise made with the utmost seriousness. To atone for his actions, Sétanta trained under Culann's strict tutelage. The young hero, still in his adolescence, demonstrated unusual ability and determination. He knew that to redeem himself and reach his true potential, he needed to learn from the best, to drink from the source of martial knowledge, just like a young apprentice learning from a master. The blacksmith, recognizing the young man's extraordinary abilities, taught him the ways of war. Each blow, each movement, a lesson in discipline and strength. Culann was not just shaping weapons, but also Sétanta's spirit, preparing him for the challenges that awaited him, for the glory and tragedy that destiny had in store for him, like a master craftsman shaping clay into a work of art. But it was evident that Sétanta's potential went far beyond the realm of mortals. There was something magical about his presence, an aura that hinted at a grand destiny, a path that would lead him beyond the limits of human comprehension. He was no ordinary warrior, he was destined to be a legend, a name whispered with admiration and awe, like the names of legendary figures that resonate in our collective memory. Greatness called to him, a call that led him to the Isle of Skye, shrouded in mist and legends, and into the care of the legendary warrior Scáthach. The journey to the island was arduous, challenging, but Sétanta knew that every step brought him closer to his destiny, that every drop of sweat shed was an investment in his legend. The Isle of Skye, with its rugged landscapes and ancient structures, was a place of mystery and power, a cauldron of ancestral energy, like places shrouded in mystery and legend. Scáthach was a formidable warrior, her skills honed in countless battles and whispered to be gifts from the gods themselves, boons granted to exceptional individuals. She was a figure of admiration and fear, respected for her discipline and wisdom. Many came from afar to learn from her, but few were chosen. Only those deemed worthy could drink from her well of knowledge, like those who seek wisdom from respected sources. She saw in Sétanta a raw strength that could shake the very foundations of the world, a power that needed to be shaped, controlled, guided. Scáthach immediately recognized the dormant potential within the young hero. She knew that with the proper training he could become an unstoppable force, an invincible champion, like a river that needs to be channeled so that its strength does not cause destruction. Under her strict but fair tutelage, Sétanta learned to master his strength. Each training session was a test of endurance and skill, one step closer to mastery. Scáthach spared no effort to ensure that Sétanta was ready to face any adversity, any enemy, any challenge, just like a dedicated teacher preparing a student for the challenges of life. He trained in the use of various weapons, his skill with the spear and sword surpassing even the most experienced warriors, becoming extensions of his will. With each passing day he grew stronger, more skilled, his techniques refined by Scáthach's guidance, his movements becoming as natural as breathing. It was there, under Scáthach's tutelage, that he learned to wield the gaebog, a barbed spear said to have been forged from the bone of a sea monster, a weapon worthy of a hero. Mastering this legendary weapon required not only strength but also impeccable technique, a supernatural control over his movements like a master musician wielding their instrument. This weapon, imbued with terrifying power, could only be thrown with the foot and was guaranteed to strike any opponent, piercing armor and flesh with equal ease. The gaebog was not just a weapon, it was a symbol of Sétanta's power and skill, a testament to his rigorous training and dedication. It was a weapon worthy of a legend, and so, under Scáthach's tutelage, Sétanta not only became an extraordinary warrior, but also a legendary figure whose stories would be told for generations, a beacon of hope in dark times, like the stories of those who inspire us to fight for what we believe in. Years passed, seasons changed, spring gave way to winter, and Sétanta, fulfilling his promise to Culann, became Cú Chulainn. He trained diligently, honing his skills and becoming a formidable warrior like a young person mastering a craft. He was now Cú Chulainn, the Hound of Ulster. He had become a symbol of strength and bravery, respected by all around him, a role model for the young and a protector of the innocent, like a leader who fights for their community. Like a vigilant guardian of his people, he was always alert, ready to defend Ulster from any threat, his eyes watchful for any sign of danger, like someone who knows their land like the back of their hand. But his peaceful life was not destined to last. A shadow loomed over the land, a dark stain on the horizon, a darkness that threatened to engulf all of Ulster, a storm brewing on the horizon like a looming threat. The peace that Cú Chulainn and his people knew was about to be shattered by forces beyond their control, by an insatiable ambition. Queen Maeve of Connaught, driven by greed and an unquenchable thirst for power, a woman who recognized no boundaries in her quest for domination, set her sights on the Don Quaige, a legendary bull that represented the prosperity and strength of Ulster, a treasure coveted by many. This magnificent creature was considered Ulster's most prized possession, a symbol of their strength and prosperity, just like certain animals hold cultural significance. Maeve, determined to take the bull for herself and crush the spirit of Ulster, to humiliate her enemies and consolidate her power, assembled a colossal army and marched towards their lands. Her army was composed of the fiercest and most ruthless warriors of Connaught, ready to destroy anyone who stood in their path, hungry for blood and plunder, like a destructive force. Cú Chulainn, bound by a guise, a sacred oath made before gods and men to protect Ulster at all costs, with his own life if necessary, knew he could not allow Maeve and her army to succeed. The shadow of war loomed over him, and he would face it with courage, like those who fight for what is right. Facing the invading forces practically alone, he prepared for an epic battle. It would be a battle that would test the limits of his strength and determination, a fight for the survival of his people, a landmark in the history of Ulster, a confrontation that would forever etch his name in the annals of Irish mythology. Cú Chulainn's bravery and courage would be remembered for generations, inspiring future heroes to defend their land with the same passion and dedication, becoming a symbol of Irish resistance, just like those who fight for their beliefs inspire us today. The army of Connaught was vast, its ranks seemingly endless, like a dark tide approaching, threatening to engulf everything in its path, like an unstoppable force of nature. But Cú Chulainn, driven by his unwavering loyalty to Ulster, stood firm against the fury of the storm, a beacon of hope amidst the darkness, like a symbol of hope. He was a whirlwind of steel and fury, his war cry echoing across the battlefield, challenging his enemies, inspiring his allies, like a powerful roar echoing through the wilderness. He fought with the strength of 10 men, his movements swift and precise, each blow lethal, each attack a testament to the years of training with Scáthach, each movement perfect, deadly, like the precise movements of a skilled fighter. He carved a path through the enemy ranks like a wolf among sheep, spreading chaos and destruction wherever he went, like a protector defending their territory. His gay bulk claimed the lives of countless soldiers, each throw a death sentence, each impact a boom that shook the battlefield, like lightning striking during a storm. But every victory came at a price. Fatigue overwhelmed him, his wounds burned, but still he fought on, like an athlete pushing through exhaustion. He was the last line of defense, Ulster's hope, like a symbol of hope and resilience. He was the shield that protected Ulster, the insurmountable wall that stood between his people and annihilation. He was the protector, the guardian, the Hound of Ulster. His name became a whisper of terror among his enemies, a harbinger of death, a nightmare that haunted their dreams, like stories that strike fear in the hearts of many. His legend grew with each fallen enemy, his fame spreading like wildfire, like a story spreading far and wide. Cú Chulainn, the Hound of Ulster, a name that would echo through centuries, a symbol of resistance and bravery, like the names of those who fought for what they believed in. He was living proof that courage and determination can triumph even against impossible odds, even when all seems lost, like achieving victory against all odds. That a valiant heart can defy fate itself, like facing challenges with hope and determination.